It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. Tuesday, the most neglected day of the week. Shout out to my good friend Jana Campbell, 50th birthday today.
Unless you're a taco. Then you hate Tuesdays.
Do you ever really Taco Tuesday, Jennings?
I taco every day.
Do you?
Any day.
Hot news.
I used to actually rank year after year what my favorite food of the year had been. Tacos won like 3 straight years in a row, man.
What's your favorite taco?
Here we go.
Beef?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, howdy. The mothership is off to the races.
Yeah, no kidding.
Here in Studio 22. Yes, tacos. Oh, the euphemism that is taco. Golly. Meaty tacos. If you
we can move on anytime.
Yeah, can we just say, look how red Jennings
I like
got.
a good fish taco.
Soft tacos?
Soft tacos? Yeah, you crunchy tacos.
There's
Those are kind of a thing of the past.
you don't need to chip
They
a
kind of
tooth.
break apart.
Different.
Yep.
You're on a different side of town at that point.
Yeah. If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life,
Beef pad thai.
beef pad thai,
Yep.
that's what you would eat for the rest of your life.
Spicy as I could get it. Yep.
Golly. Talk about having the runs forever. It just, ugh.
It'd be a short life, but it'd be glorious.
Beef pad thai. That's pretty random.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys ever thought about that, Natalie?
One bacon cheeseburger.
I'm a
Like, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, do I get the fries with it?
yeah.
Can I
Can
have
we
the sides that
supersize
go
it?
with that
Golly.
thing? Like,
I mean, y'all are pretty direct. Y'all are pretty, anyway.
Well, now, what about you?
I mean, I don't know. I would go a little bit broader, and it would just be Italian food.
oh, okay. I thought you were narrowing it down to.
So you get to choose a type of food, not
that in
a
general.
food item.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pizza. I'd eat pizza.
That's a versatile.
Yeah, that is very
See,
versatile.
yeah, because you go a lot of directions with that.
Good point.
I'd be having lobster tails on the pizza.
Have me a medium ribeye pizza.
Anyway, this is how quickly we digress on a Tuesday. The world's going to hell, folks. Don't know if you realize that or not. It's okay, though. We're safe here, right here in the bunker, which is Studio 22, Blaze Studios. Yeah. Is anybody seen Glenn Beck in a month?
He's
2
in a
months?
bunker.
I have not.
We were in
I've seen his
Idaho.
security. I've seen his security, so he's been here.
I don't know. I've seen Beck droppings.
Okay.
Like, I've seen traces of Beck with Beck droppings around
Hansel
here.
and Gretel.
I just know whenever he's like gone and not here, there's no more snacks.
There's never any snacks.
And no more air conditioning.
Because Craig's not here to stock up the refrigerator. I can't work under these conditions. Call my union. Get my union rep on the phone. My gosh. Oh, my Lord. Somebody was asking me the other day, talking about unions. We were talking about education. And the TEA, the teachers union in Texas, useless. Absolutely worthless. Got to reel these unions in, folks. And these departments. The Department of Education has never taught anybody anything. Nothing. But yet it exists. Great policy and all this garbage that doesn't make any sense.
I say we create we get like a game company to design what looks like this online experience of all of our kids that the unions can interact with, and then we just go open schools and they can think that they're interacting with kids.
It'd be fun. It'd be like sim government.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Sim
we can
City,
expand
but
it
for
out
government.
it doesn't just have to be the unions. Let's do that with everything
With
that's
everybody.
government.
Yeah, let everybody. We build a video game where everybody can play the government,
Yeah.
and then you see,
And the rest of us can live real
see
life.
the end result of your policy decisions, and you see where it goes.
Yeah.
Right. See what I'm saying? God, we took it from tacos.
I just developed that right now. Because you helped.
It's almost like we're living that already with what's in the White House.
Yeah. Joe Biden is a simulation.
Yep.
Yeah, he is a computer glitch.
I was going to say
is
he's a
what he
bit
is.
glitchy.
Yeah, I mean, he is max headroom. Pretty rough. That is a very handsome big gulp cup that you have right there in front of you.
I'm not advertising. You don't know who it's from.
7-Eleven. Oh, the Puppet Master Mark and Candice the Queen. Candace is now just the Queen. She's graduated up.
Well,
Yeah,
she's
you're welcome.
married.
People send me messages all the time. They're like, "Do you know that Candace is the queen of the Ethiopians in Acts chapter 8? How random is that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's where it comes from." Yeah, Candace.
Now Mark was not previously royalty, so I assume that makes him a
Oh, is he
prince, not a
king?
king.
Archduke.
Of the
Archduke.
Ethiopians?
Makes sense.
Congratulations, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark's,
Well done.
Mark now is a royal. He is a royal.
That's why he locked her down.
Best start complaining about America. That's what they do.
Mark and Candace Tate.
I was going to say,
That's
y'all
correct.
leave Mr. Ortiz alone.
I love it. I love it. We got some stuff we're going to get into today. Far more fascinating than tacos. I don't know that there is anything more.
That's not
fascinating.
true.
Well, you know what? Some Tuesday we're going to bring tacos in here. We're going to enjoy a yummy taco.
I
It's
think y'all
taken
just
you 2
figured out
years
what
to
I'm
come up
having
with
for
this
supper.
idea?
I
Some
thought we
tacos.
already had one in here, but whatevs.
Oh, look at it. It's stuck to the vinyl of the seat. Hey, what if I told you that you could improve your health, boost your energy, and support a healthy heart in less than 2 minutes a day? Field of Greens is unlike any other superfood because it uses real USDA organic fruits and vegetables packed with antioxidants. Field of Greens can support heart health, metabolism, blood pressure, and digestion. Plus, it's pre and probiotic. It's great for everyone in your family, old, young, or even athletes. Making Field of Greens part of your daily routine is super simple. You grab a scoop of it, put it in a glass of water, stir it up, drink it, you're done. And unlike other nutritional drinks, which rely on only one vegetable, Field of Greens is packed with 18 clinically researched essential fruits and vegetables, plus green tea, ginger, turmeric, and beets. Go to brickhousechad.com. Get you 15% off your first order with promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad at checkout. That's brickhousechad.com. It's the easiest and fastest way to start living a healthier life. It's available in the original flavor, wild berry, now lemon and lime. Brickhousechad.com. Use promo code Chad. Brickhousechad.com. Go there today. We'll be right back. So everybody knows the nonsense that we dealt with back in February with the power grid, ERCOT, here in the state of Texas. We kind of became a laughing stock to the rest of the country because everybody's like, oh, it got a little cold and y'all couldn't handle it. Well, we got snowed in and frozen in and iced in a 100-year winter storm. And it wasn't that it was cold outside, it was cold inside because our power grid shut down and we exposed the nightmare, which was ERCOT. Well, now ERCOT is issuing a conservation alert for Texas electric customers with temperatures in the 90s. It's been higher than 90s. It was 102 yesterday.
Did it really get that high?
Yeah.
I was camping yesterday, and I believe it. It was hot.
It was hot, dude. It was hot just walking in the studio today. I mean, just ugh. Like, I'm like, hot. And Sunday I had to go do that event where I was speaking out on the patio at that Patriot campaign event. And, you know, I'm wearing long sleeve shirt. I've got jeans and boots on, hat on, the whole thing. I mean, I had to speak with a towel in my hand. I felt like T.D. Jakes. I was preaching, you know, having blocked my head a little bit, you know. Yeah. Lord,
There's a fire.
there's a world out there that knows Texas is great. But ERCOT officials asked for energy conservation Monday as temperatures across the state approach their usual summer highs. Texans are being asked to safely reduce their electric use, said the operator of the state's electric grid in a tweet on Monday. So that's great. That is just fantastic.
Are these still people outside of Texas telling Texas what to do, just like they did
They
in February?
changed, if I'm not mistaken, they changed it where they only have like 6 board members now, and they all have to be in the state. And like whoopie-doopie-doo. It's garbage. They didn't change anything.
Right.
Going to be interesting to see if Rick Perry throws his hat in the ring for governor, Texas.
Really?
I was going to say,
You
a good
think?
selling point for you right now is if you become governor, you're going to build a nuclear power plant right here in Texas.
Well, let me tell you the thing about this power thing is oil and gas is a great commodity. Coal is a great commodity. You have those coal plants out there running, and whenever the stuff starts to fail, you just crank up those coal plants a little bit and get them cooking. But you're right. Nuclear power, very clean energy.
It's gotten a lot. I mean, it's always been safe, despite what the public thinks about it. It's actually a very safe form of energy, but it's gotten a lot safer even in the last
Isn't
decade
there one
or so.
right here in Glen Rose? Over at Glen Rose, a nuclear power plant?
Yep.
Thought so.
So,
I did not know that.
rock and roll, baby.
Yeah. Texas are using some nuclear power. Of course, it's not as much as it could be, I guess.
Crank it up.
Yeah.
25% is green energy. Aren't we proud of ourselves that the windmills are just cooking? Move those windmills down to the border, put them right there on the fence, and just be a last obstacle when they're trying to climb over.
They might not generate any energy, but they'll help us with the immigration problem.
Exactly, because that's about all they're good for, especially since they're petroleum-based products that run off of petroleum-based products, and they run off of 35% of the energy they produce is used up in just producing that energy.
They also don't break down. You have to store them in a landfill, and
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And those are some big blades. And you just got to bury them.
How many nuclear power plants are there in Texas?
Man, I don't know.
Because there's one down in Bay City. There's one in Glen Rose for sure. And I think there's one more somewhere.
Yeah. I know there's 2.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. Maybe 18. I don't know.
Might be.
These are things I should know as governor.
I think so.
Yeah. Get into this. But I don't believe in this whole we got to start conserving energy. This is not only America. This is Texas, by God. This is by God, Texas.
we don't conserve shit.
We don't, man.
I just know when it reaches like it did yesterday, it's hard to keep my house at, below 70.
Yeah.
And my house gets above 68. I'm like, oh, it's too hot.
You and me both, man.
I can't stand being in Steve's house.
Because
It's so cold.
Oh yeah, mine's the same way. My wife complains every day of my life. She's
When
like, it's cold
we're in a
here."
hotel, and Steve's like, "Hey, come down to my room." Hell no.
That's the first thing I do. 65 degrees.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my gosh.
I've
dude.
actually called ahead and said, hey, can y'all turn the air down in my room? And they'll do it.
I didn't know that, but I'm going to know that now for the future.
Well, as soon as they get enough employees to clean the rooms on time so you can check in at 3.
See, that's another issue right there. Everywhere you go, hiring.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Everywhere. People don't want to work. People are bums, man.
I've been thinking about just instead like quitting my job and just going place to place and applying because they'll pay you now in a lot of places. That I can make a
that's
living
a new
just by
job.
applying and doing. Yeah.
They'll be. I mean, talk about conserving energy. People are doing nothing. I mean, this is the whole thing, man. They're not working. They're not going after it at all. It's insane. If a person with initiative could take over the world right now, they really could.
So Chad,
Mm-hmm.
you're a man of initiative.
Yeah,
You want to take over the world?
I'm already doing that.
Oh.
I'm just talking about the people that are out there bitching about not having anything. I'm doing great. I'm 100%, son.
Yep.
Watch Chad.com where all the fun stuff is. I'm rocking and rolling. I'm just kidding. I'm broke as a joke. Please visit watchchad.com. No, man, I'll tell you, it's crazy though, this world we're living in. We're sitting back. We got a Zoom call president. We got a guy who doesn't engage, doesn't make any sense when he talks. He can barely stay awake. And politics it runs downstream from culture, right? Culture is what determines your politics.
Right.
And culture is downstream from religion. So what you worship determines what you are culturally, and who you are culturally is how your politics maps out, right? So what we got is some major issues where people have become their own little gods, worshiping themselves. Everything's about me, 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 me. Don't offend me. Don't do anything that's going to bother me. Make sure you use the right pronouns, he, him. Make sure were. Make sure you use all these little things, and you give me gender at $40 trillion in the developing world for infrastructure that's going to focus on gender equity. Whoopee! So we're worshiping ourselves and created a culture of that, and our politics is now reflecting that. It's very selfish.
For sure.
Very selfish. It's all about what can you give me? What can I want? What the government can give me. Doesn't matter if my grandkids are going to live with that debt and they're going to inherit an America that basically is unrecognizable and doesn't exist. That's why I keep telling people talking about Texas, I'm like, the future we're building is untenable. It's untenable. You can't continue down this path of ever expanding government and overreach and mandates and debt and spending and budgets that are out of control and spiraling taxes upward and this culture of selfishness. You can't continue to do that and have a tenable future. It's going to tank. It's going to tank, people.
Yeah, history is a good indicator.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch, it happens every time. It will happen to us. It's just a matter of whether it happens now or later. But I mean, you're old enough and I'm old enough to understand that we live in a different world today than my 11-year-old kid lives in, or we're from a different world than he's from, because we remember what it was like, even just the difference between before and after something like the Patriot Act. We lived in a much, much freer America just 30 years ago. What's it going to be like 30 years from now?
Yeah.
It'll be unrecognizable if we're still here to see it.
Well, in order to be comfortable, we're willing to give up our rights.
Yeah.
We're willing to give up our freedom and our liberty because freedom ain't free and liberty comes at a price. We don't want to pay that price anymore, especially when there's a big government titty out there that we could suck on and keep our bellies full. But we saw with the COVID mandates, I mean, suddenly there was no toilet paper. Just gone. Well, what happens when there's a run on everything?
Yeah.
And it's all just gone. Lumber has quadrupled in price. Gasoline prices are through the roof.
My cousin said on Facebook the other day, due to the increased price in lumber, it is now actually advisable to take wooden nickels.
Ain't wrong. But that's insane, man. You look at that and it's like you can't control that.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were building a house right now. Imagine Natalie, y'all got done with your renovation just in time.
Really did.
Just in time. And I mean, I heard a story of somebody who was in the middle of building a house and the contractor came and said, hey, here's the bill. Sorry, it's $90,000 more.
Ugh.
And there's no way around it.
Yeah.
Imagine the people that are in that nightmare right now. It's crazy.
Well, and Americans allowed their freedom to be taken away, masked by fear, and it was okay. No. This is just to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
And they bought that.
Yeah. And you bring up a very valuable point. Fear is the commodity that's used to control people. It's always about fear. So, question, do I want to go this route? That's one of the things why when I go back to the point I made that politics is downstream of culture and culture is downstream of religion. If you are worshiping something, and I'm not talking about where you go to church, I'm talking about the thing that you value,
right?
The thing you worship. I mean, like is it your health? Is it your life? We saw a lot of life and health worship over the last 18 months. These people scared to death of each other, masked up, socially distanced, afraid to go see grandma, all this kind of stuff. It was the religion of safetyism, as I've said over and over again. Had to put on the mask, had to do all the stuff. It's, I look at these people and I'm like, you guys, what in the hell? But that's why, you go to the Bible says God's not giving us a spirit of fear, right? If you're walking around in fear, that's going to lead to a culture where everything's frightening. You're scared of everything. You're scared of your own shadow. Scared of shortages. You're scared of, and so and then politics, they know that they can control you. The government can control you with just pushing the right buttons. And that's what's going on in our world today.
You're right about the right buttons because they did the same thing. They used fear for people to speak out against the riots. Well, if you speak out against that, then you're obviously racist. So people were putting black boxes on their social media because they were too afraid to just say common sense.
Yeah.
Tearing up our cities is not the answer. Just like rioting the Capitol or whatever happened was not the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, speak up. You can't live in fear.
No, you can't. And these people out there that control you with, say, BLM. Well, if I don't support BLM, I must be a racist.
Right. Yeah.
Or if I don't support the LGBTQ or celebrate Pride Month or throw a rainbow up or something like that, I'm going to get canceled. So
Right.
I'm in fear of cancel culture now. These are the kind of things that you got to play ball. You got to play ball or you're going to get canceled. And people are like, well, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of losing my job. I'm afraid if I say this or say that, I'm going to get fired. I'm not going to have money. And, I can't take care of things, can't pay my bills, can't feed my family. I'm going to get demonetized. I'm going to get deplatformed.
And that's why all these corporations are putting up their commercials and putting up their stuff because they're afraid of that.
Exactly.
And it comes down to the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose out if they don't put their gay pride flag up or they don't put the Black Lives Matter thing up.
Are you already feeling that in this gubernatorial race? Is anybody giving you pressure about anything like that yet?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Just because we're just not at that point.
Okay.
We're not at that point. Right now it's a primary campaign and people are more interested in getting rid of Greg Abbott, in my circles at least. We haven't even gotten into the leftist causes or the leftist issues. That'll come as we get further into an actual general election. But it's a true point. We'll talk some more about it. Hey, folks, we know that last year has brought on some serious changes to us as Americans, as we just discussed. And now more than ever, it is essential to protect yourself and your family. And if you've tried purchasing a firearm or ammunition in the last year, you know there's been an overwhelming demand from responsible citizens ensuring that they're protecting their Second Amendment rights. Well, they're not just purchasing firearms and ammunition. The demand for ballistic body armor has never been higher. And like owning a firearm, owning ballistic body armor is the next step in ensuring your Second Amendment rights. Yourself and your family are protected. If you have a firearm, are considering getting a firearm, or you just want to ensure that you and your family are protected no matter what situation you may find yourself in, please consider purchasing body armor from our friends at AR500 Armor. Shopping for body armor may seem like something you thought you'd never have to do. You may not know where to begin. In fact, you may not even know that you could buy body armor. That's where AR500 Armor comes in. AR500 Armor makes buying body armor easy, approachable, and affordable. In fact, with AR500Armor.com, you buy it online, you have it shipped straight to your house, and the AR500 Armor has got multiple packages built for citizens just like you. If you're looking for various levels of protection, go check them out. They make the shopping process easy, simple, approachable, and they're always willing to help answer any questions. So I want you to go to AR500Armor.com and check out what they've got. We'll be right back. When is the last time you saw a disabled person on a major reality show?
Like every single one of them.
Yeah?
They're all disabled.
I don't think he meant mentally disabled.
Mentally handicapped?
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
A disabled, I don't watch reality TV. I can't really answer that.
I do.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the big things that they're talking about right now is they're just not... They're not putting enough disabled people. I want to see reality shows cast disabled people without making it all about their conditions, without any of the inspo garbage about how we are so brave when we're literally just living our lives. This would make huge strides in normalizing all kinds of disabilities and maybe even eventually help make the world a less shitty place. Hold the tragic photo montage. There you go. So this person, people are outraged.
Can I proffer an opinion here? I think this stuff is already normalized for the most part. Do you make fun of somebody who's walking around or sitting in a wheelchair?
Doesn't cross my mind.
Yeah, it doesn't cross your mind. Like, it's not even that you don't do it. It's not like you're holding back.
Yeah.
What? Why are we fighting battles that we don't need to win?
Why are we creating crisis that doesn't exist?
Yeah.
I mean, go back and watch the episode we had Jamie Blanick on last Thursday. Jamie lost her leg in that horrible accident, and we were talking off camera. We were talking about, just the various challenges of dealing with a handicap now, with the loss of an appendage, loss of a leg, learning how to walk, dealing
Didn't
with
she
the
say
chair.
she has to like have multiple fittings of her
She's
prosthetic
like 7
leg?
legs in.
Yeah.
7 legs in, trying to get the fitting just right and all of that stuff in. So it's not just one size fits all, obviously. And then you got to deal with, see, what we didn't talk about is her other leg, the quote unquote good leg, the one that she still has. They've had to reconstruct that,
Right.
because it was severely damaged as well. She could have very well just lost both of them. But she's dealing with the chair and things like that. And you don't. She's a good friend, has been for years, but you don't just start looking at somebody as different because they're
Or better yet, they are different. We're all different. So what?
yeah.
So what? There's things that I can't do that you can do.
I don't walk in the room and start thinking about somebody's skin color. I don't think about whether or not they're in a wheelchair or those kind of things. I don't need the point is, we don't need a reality show to remind us. I mean, if you want to cast somebody in a
Yeah, that being said, go for it.
Well,
but
I was going to say, if you're going to produce one, if you want to be the
go for
producer
it,
of a show, go do that.
yeah. Now, quite honestly, the logistics that are involved in doing that are a little bit harder.
Sure.
We talk about our own Governor Greg Abbott. He's done, he's in a wheelchair. And
Did you know I didn't know that until about 2 weeks ago?
Really?
I had no idea.
Well, in your defense, you're from another state.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, but Greg Abbott's done a phenomenal job at. A lot of people haven't realized that, or maybe didn't realize that.
Well, and Greg Abbott's okay that you didn't realize that.
Yeah.
He's not basing
He doesn't
his entire
find his
life
identity
around it.
in
Right.
that situation, right? And that's.
Wait, so we're not going to write a series of attack ads on him based on the fact that he's in a wheelchair?
I mean, it doesn't cross my mind, right? But logistically, think about what they have to go through.
Sure.
To get him in places, public places, fly him. I mean, so if you're talking about doing a television show with a situation like that, that's difficult logistically. So I can understand why they don't do. But the fact that people come up with this sense of outrage, over these things, it's like we got to stop this stuff. Like, you don't know there's a problem. I always joke about saying I like to give people problems they didn't know they had.
Yeah.
And tell you about these things. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We didn't know that this was an issue, that we needed more handicapped people on reality television.
I think this was an issue that was addressed in like sitcoms in the 80s. I mean, we're well past this. We should be well past this in the same sense that we should be well past the racial divide. None of
we
this
were
should
until
be-
Obama came along.
Yeah.
I think they need to be gay black handicap.
That
If you're gonna do a
identify
show-
as
identify as the
a
opposite
different-
sex.
as
If we're gonna do
non-binary.
that, let's cover it all in one show.
American Idol, all their backstories, when you get into it with these people that are stepping up to the mic, all the backstories have something where they've overcome some situation that, whether it be a lost leg or emotional or cancer, or all of these stories have had. I mean, what do you define as handicapped? Does it have to be a missing leg? I mean,
I don't know.
The Bachelor had a girl that her arm wasn't developed all the way. She was on the show. She did great. She went on Bachelor in Paradise. They've had all of that. I mean, they cover it because it creates eyeballs and people are interested in.
Well, people want stories that have tragedies, that have that meet all those.
It
different
has been done.
human experience. That's what they want. That's why we do what we do on this show. I'm reasonably normal. And then I trot out this bunch, right?
I think we're back to that mentally handicapped part.
I love it. We just get together and pool our ignorance. It's fantastic. Put our heads together and it sounds like a bowling alley. My gosh.
I think everyone has their own mental issues. It just depends on what degree, what level.
I've always said everybody's on the spectrum somewhere.
That's right.
I mean, all of us have a few synapses that aren't quite firing. So
that last soundbite will play across the nation before we know it. We just pool our ignorance together. I can hear somebody is marking that on tape.
I have given opposition research so many sound bites. So many sound bites.
For sure.
But that's the beauty. But you know what? I'll tell you something about it, is people are starting to see through the BS. People are getting to the point where they are seeing through the media's narratives. They're seeing through these outrage mobs, this kind of stuff.
Cancel culture.
The cancel culture. And, John Lovitz, the famous comedian, he came out. Let me see if I can get to this real quick. There it is right there.
I think it's going to take the comedians to lead us out of this.
Yeah.
They got to get
I
back
hope
If
so.
to
there's
doing,
enough brave ones, yeah.
The brave
get
ones.
back to doing what, comedy's about. And
Instead of apologizing.
I understand that some people think that, if you offend someone, it's not comedic, which all comedy offends someone.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this past week, John Lovitz came out and he said comedians will basically his point was comedians will purposefully push the boundaries when they're told not to say something deemed offensive. He said, I'll just say it, it's no different than McCarthyism, comparing the current trend of ostracizing someone out of social and professional circles for something they said or did to the second Red Scare movement of the 1940s and 50s when there was a hunt for anyone believed to have communist connections spurred on by Senator Joseph McCarthy. Lovitz emphasized that it's a comedian's job to satirize what's going on in society and point out the hypocrites, but cancel culture presents a roadblock in creating comedy. He said, as soon as you say to a comedian like me, you can't say that, the first thing in my head is, oh, and now I have to. He pointed out that there is a difference between making jokes and being outright mean. If you don't have the ability to laugh at yourself, don't go to a comedy club. I'm not changing my act. If you're watching TV and you don't like the show, change the channel. It's very simple. I've seen innocent friends lose their careers. It's enough. He lashed out last month at SNL cast members who demanded a safe space from Elon Musk. For everyone who isn't sure about the host, don't forget where you were before you got the show. We're all extraordinarily lucky to have been on it. Be grateful and enjoy your time on SNL because nothing lasts forever. I mean, it's a fact.
He right.
He ain't wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
I had a
said
similar situation happen on my Facebook last week.
Yeah,
Your
well,
Facebook is
I did-
basically SNL?
I just made a kind of a funny thing, but I wasn't directing it directly at an individual necessarily, but somebody got offended or didn't like it, said I was basically being mean.
Oh,
that's every day for me.
But I'm not going to delete my post.
Yeah, there's a difference between being comedic and being mean. But even if you're being mean, change the channel if you don't
That's
like
right.
it.
That's the whole
Walk
deal.
away.
I basically just said it was hard to take medical advice from a morbidly obese, healthcare worker.
Yeah, and I stopped being your healthcare worker immediately after that.
And I
photo.
put a meme out that's with T-shirt said feminist, and it said that's a weird way to spell fat and single. Hey, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's noticed it. The state of our great nation has changed, and with it, so has the world's rock-solid confidence in the U.S. dollar, thanks to our government's out-of-control spending. Many believe we'll see dark days ahead for the dollar. That's why now more than ever, we recommend you diversify with gold and silver. And the only company we recommend is American Hartford Gold. They sell physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or inside of your IRA, and they make it easy. They are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the BBB and thousands of satisfied clients. If you call them right now, they will give you up to $1,500 of free silver on your first order. So don't wait. Call them now, 866-503-9299. That's 866-503-9299. Or text CHAD, Chad, to 65532. Again, that's 866-503-9299. Or text Chad to 65532. Get it. We'll be right back. So you remember a few weeks ago when we posted, we put the picture up of the Help Wanted sign from Reservoir, the local bar that's in Fort Worth as well as in Irving, right around the corner from here actually, where it said, hey, now hiring, lazy asses, now hiring, and if you don't, when the stimulus money runs out,
Right. Come work here.
don't come crying to us, and the guy who created that, his name is Ricky. His name is Effin' Ricky. That's his nickname. He's the manager over at the Reservoir, and incredible bar and grill over there at and restaurant over. There's one in Fort Worth off West 7th, but there's one right over here. I was there the other night, and he just posted on Instagram a picture of me and him. He said, When you've been wanting to meet at Watch Chad for over 6 years, and in 1 year he not only shares your posts, but he comes and visits your bar. Thanks for coming out. Let me know if you need some help with the campaign. Chad Prather 2022, Chad Prather Show, Chad Prather for Governor, hashtag Seeking Prather 2022 ambassador job. And it's me and my boys Brian and Stephen Chaco right there. Chaco's a black guy. Can you believe that? Hanging out with
You're friends with a black guy?
No.
Can you believe? I have a black friend.
Quotas
Stephen
too.
Chocolat.
I guess you're not racist anymore.
Oh, you do have 2 now. Okay, yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
I don't know. We'll see. Quota's getting full. People are so dumb.
I wanted to speak to this cancel culture that we talked about earlier, because we talked about maybe last week Piers Morgan getting canceled because he spoke out against Meghan Markle and just, you've offended everybody, now you're fired. And I think one of the biggest, representatives of everything diverse would be Ellen DeGeneres, and she's going down in flames. Now, a lot
Are
of
they
it
finally getting her?
Yeah, she's bowing out. She's done because they're saying it was an unhealthy work environment. But according to the staffers who said that, like, they weren't allowed to look at her straight in the eyes, who knows if any of that's true or not. But they were giving people jobs just so that they looked very diverse there. Like Twitch got an executive producer, and it still wasn't enough, is what this employee said. That, she tries to do everything right, and people still were pissed, and now they're screaming, and now Ellen DeGeneres is gone. We're talking about a woman, a lesbian, someone who has preached love from her show, and she's going down. So the cancel culture at some point, if you look at this person who is truly diverse,
themselves.
This is going to bite us all in the butt. Let comedians be comedians. Even if you think it's mean, it's still subjective.
Mm-hmm.
That is subjective. And if somebody like Ellen, who represented everything that, what we think of maybe the left is going down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You eat your own in
Wake
that
up,
situation. People. If you're canceling things, it's like this. If you invent the guillotine, eventually you're going to get your own head cut off by it.
Mm.
That's the deal.
Pretty much.
You're going to get executed by the same instrument that you created. It's just the nature of the beast. And I tell people all the time, you got to be careful, because one, the joke or whatever, the comment, it's not about you. Again, I go back to what we worship. We worship ourselves so much that we think that it's all about us. Mm-hmm. It's not about you, right? It's not. It's culture and the concept. We should be able to make fun of these things. I got a book coming out September. Am I crazy?
Yes, you are.
And the whole thing is, I've sat around thinking, man, some of it's pretty scathing. I mean, some of it's pretty strong stuff where pre-order it now. Yeah. But some of it's pretty strong.
Are you sure you don't want to move that release until after you're governor?
No, we want to go ahead and get that out of the way.
Don't worry, the wood crisis is apt to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it was supposed to come out in August, the paper crisis. You better pre-order it before books go through the roof. Yeah. My gosh. Anyway. That's why I've always said I'm unapologetic. I'm going to be unapologetic. And till I'm blue in the face, unapologetic. I'm not going to apologize for making jokes or making comments or saying things. I'm not going to change my vocabulary or the way I spin things or say things or do things or twist a phrase. I'm not going to do that. You can use all the sound bites you want. I'm not apologizing for those kind of things. Cancel me, kick me off, do all those things. I mean, I don't know any other way to be than to be myself. And if I've got to do a bunch of mental and verbal gymnastics to try to get around everybody's obstacles because they've so subjected themselves to offendedness that, everything is internalized and makes it about you, then how are we ever going to change culture? That's the thing. It's one of the most profound things. You and I have talked about this, and you put the concept in my head, Jennings, of talking about, the only way what's in my brain can get to your brain is through language.
Yeah.
And I still go back to that clip we played of Barack Obama last week trying to pick words so that he can say the right things.
Yeah.
And because you're going to get caught in a trap. Mm-hmm. You say the wrong thing. You already know you're going to get caught in a trap. You can't talk about anything delicate, any kind of complex issues, because you got to be politically correct. You got to say everything the right way. And I'm like, screw all that.
Yeah.
Screw all of that.
In a truly free society, there should not be anything that's off the table to at least talk about.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I mean, we choose where we go and get our information from. We choose where we go on social media. We choose what we watch on TV. You can choose not to watch anything that offends you.
And I choose to laugh at a lot of goofy crap that y'all think is serious. I mean, not y'all, but I'm just talking about the average person out there. You know, we saw that commercial yesterday on the Steve Day show where the guy was a cross-dresser and he was trying to figure out how to come out to the world as a cross-dresser. I'm reasonably thinking if you're a dude wearing a dress, you've come out to the world.
Done.
I mean, you're out there, right? I was at a bar the other night in Fort Worth, and this guy comes in wearing a dress. I'm like, he's reasonably out. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was done up like a girl. He had arms like a gorilla, but he's out.
To each their own.
And, I mean, and so like I have to do a little chuckle because I'm like, it's different. I'm not making fun of you. I don't care what you do. You ain't hurting me. But I have to let a little chuckle out. I mean, look at me. I'm a dude with no socks on, stinky shoes, sweaty feet, dirty blue jeans, a T-shirt, and a cowboy hat.
A felt cowboy
hat.
And
a felt cowboy hat in the summertime, 102 degrees. And I don't care. I'm just me. I'm unapologetic about it. You be you.
You're very Margaritaville today.
I let people laugh at me. I do what I do so people can laugh at me.
That was my reply to that if I got to be the blunt of somebody's joke, go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah. The blunt of somebody's joke?
Blunt.
You mean the brunt?
But
See? Right there, the butt.
He took brunt and butt and made it the blunt.
Go ahead, make fun of me, Jennings. You want to go there?
Are you going to
give me some health advice?
See how quickly he internalized that?
Right.
See?
Uh-huh.
Sensitive.
I've always said I'm super sensitive.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to have a hug session.
Yeah. Hang tight. Be right back.
That's gross.
Oh, boy, howdy. WatchChat.com is where all the fun stuff is. I was talking to somebody over the weekend and talking about this cancel culture thing, and they were wanting to run for a city council. I think it was a city council position. And they were like, I can't do it because my son is in a movie where he plays a Nazi. And they were catching flack for what her son played in a role. I'm like, really? Really?
Did he play him as a sympathetic character?
I was going to say.
Well, because otherwise.
I mean, yeah.
Is he a Nazi now?
Did he take on the role?
Yeah, right. Did he internalize it?
Did he really, internalize the thing and become that character?
Yes.
Anyway.
Can you imagine an actor turning down a role because he's going to be a Nazi?
Right.
That's so dumb.
Do it.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to be in Spring, Texas on Thursday night at Sawyer Park Ice House. The Ragamuffins coming to town. Party Foul Steve will be there as well. We're going to be rocking and rolling. And then, of course, we've got the Boots and Troops Gala, Boots for Troops Gala on Saturday night there in the Woodlands. Come hang out with us there as well. Raise money for a great cause and have a fun night with us at the Woodlands Resort. Anyway, gonna be rocking and rolling. We've got a lot of shows coming up across Texas, especially for the rest of the year. We got a lot of Texas dates. Abilene, Lubbock. We got a ton of stuff we're planning. So come check us out and hang out with us. WatchChad.com has all the information, and maybe pick up a shirt while you're there. Subscribe to BlazeTV.com/Chad. Go to where podcasts are offered. Leave us a good rating and a review. 5 stars is all we take. And we will see you tomorrow for Hump Day. It's Tuesday. Get a taco. Love you. Bye.